Ashima Shiraishi was born on April 3, 2001, in New York City, to parents who emigrated from Japan. Growing up in Manhattan, Ashima had a multicultural upbringing, which helped shape her worldview and personality. She discovered rock climbing at the age of 6, when her father took her to a local climbing gym. While her father simply wanted her to engage in an active hobby, Ashima quickly developed a passion for the sport. She was fascinated by the physical and mental challenges that climbing presented and soon began spending more time at the gym, refining her skills. Ashima's natural talent was evident from an early age. Her physical strength, coupled with her quick learning abilities, allowed her to excel in indoor climbing competitions. By the time she was 10, Ashima had already caught the attention of the climbing community with her rapid progression and competitive results. Climbing became more than just a hobby for her. It became a driving force in her life. Growing up in New York, Ashima trained at the renowned Manhattan Rock Gym, where she worked closely with coaches who nurtured her potential. Her parents, who were supportive of her athletic pursuits, encouraged her to continue climbing and provided the resources she needed to develop her skills. Ashima's work ethic and dedication to improving were evident, and her coaches quickly recognized her as one of the most promising young talents in the sport. Career peak and rise to prominence. Ashima Shiraishi's rise to prominence in the world of climbing began when she was just 11 years old. At this age, she entered her first major competition and immediately made a splash by securing a top position. Her performance in youth competitions led to more significant opportunities and gave her a platform to showcase her talents on a global scale. By the time she was 13, Ashima was already a star in the world of competitive climbing. In 2014, at the age of 13, Ashima made history by becoming the youngest person, male or female, to climb a V15-rated boulder problem, the Swarm, in Colorado. This achievement was monumental, as the V15 grade represented a level of difficulty that was previously thought to be beyond the reach of climbers so young, particularly female climbers. Ashima's success on this route was a clear indication of her extraordinary potential and helped elevate her status as one of the rising stars of the climbing world. Ashima's breakthrough moment came in 2015 when she became the youngest person to ever climb a V14-rated problem, a feat that garnered widespread attention in the climbing community. In the same year, she was also the first woman to ever complete the famous Golden Gate 5.14c, a difficult multi-pitch route in Yosemite National Park. These achievements were part of a string of impressive ascents that set her apart from her peers and established her as one of the top female climbers globally. By the time she was 16, Ashima was competing in high-level events around the world, including the prestigious World Cup competitions. She quickly gained recognition for her poise under pressure, her dynamic climbing style, and her ability to complete some of the most challenging problems in the sport. Ashima was known for her explosive strength, mental focus, and precision in completing moves that many other climbers found impossible. Her performances in competitions, combined with her outdoor achievements, solidified her position as one of the top climbers of her generation. Main achievements. Ashima Shiraishi's career is defined by her groundbreaking achievements, both in competition and in outdoor climbing. Her accomplishments have pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible in the sport of rock climbing, particularly for young women. Below are some of the key milestones and accolades from Ashima's illustrious career. Youngest person to climb a V15, 2014. At just 13 years old, Ashima made history by becoming the youngest person to climb a V15-rated boulder problem, the Swarm. This ascent, which took place in Colorado, was a groundbreaking achievement in the world of rock climbing, especially given her young age. It marked the beginning of her rise to prominence as a climbing prodigy. First female to climb Golden Gate 514c. In 2015, Ashima became the first woman to complete the iconic Golden Gate route, a challenging 5.14c rated multi-pitch climb in Yosemite National Park. Her successful ascent of this renowned route proved that she was capable of conquering some of the most difficult climbs in the world, and it made her a trailblazer for women in the sport. First woman to climb a V14 and V15 at age 13. In addition to her success on the Swarm, Ashima was the first woman to ever complete a V14 problem, and she was only 13 years old at the time. Her ascent of the Golden Ticket in Fontainebleau, France, solidified her reputation as one of the best boulderers in the world. World Cup and international success. Ashima's success was not confined to outdoor climbing. She also made her mark in international competitions. She earned top finishes in the World Cup, competing in some of the most prestigious bouldering and lead climbing events. Her ability to perform under pressure in competitive settings contributed to her growing popularity and cemented her place among the climbing elite. Breaking barriers for women in climbing. Ashima's achievements have been pivotal in breaking gender barriers in rock climbing. As a young woman, she became one of the leading figures in a sport that has traditionally been dominated by men. Her success in climbing high-difficulty bouldering problems and multi-pitch routes has inspired countless young female climbers to pursue the sport and challenge their own limits. Climbing a V16. In 2016, Ashima made waves again by completing a V16 rated problem, a level of difficulty previously thought to be out of reach for most climbers. Her ascent of the game in Rocklands, South Africa, marked another milestone in her career and underscored her reputation as one of the most powerful and skilled climbers in the world, pioneering in both indoor and outdoor climbing. Ashima's success is not limited to any one discipline. She has excelled in both indoor competition climbing and outdoor rock climbing. Her ability to transition seamlessly between these two areas has made her one of the most versatile athletes in the climbing community. Final years and transition. As Ashima entered her late teens and early 20s, she began to focus more on personal projects and outdoor climbing, stepping away from the intense competitive circuit. She continued to climb some of the world's most difficult routes, including numerous V15s and V16s, as well as high-difficulty trad routes. In particular, she sought out new challenges in places like Fontainebleau, Rocklands, and the United States, where she took on some of the hardest bouldering problems known to climbers. Her move away from competition climbing allowed Ashima to focus on her personal climbing goals, where she explored new areas, developed her skills, and sought to push her limits in new and creative ways. Although she continued to compete in select events, Ashima's transition to more outdoor-focused climbing allowed her to grow as an athlete and a person, as she sought new ways to contribute to the sport and share her knowledge with others. Ashima has also dedicated time to advocating for greater diversity and inclusion in climbing, particularly for women and underrepresented groups. She has become a role model for young climbers, not only for her athleticism but for her work in promoting equality within the climbing community.